What's up, Print Hustlers? Bruce from Printavo. Got another episode here. This one's a little bit special, and the reason why is Printwear magazine asked me to help give some tips around work-life balance. Now, I've actually read a lot more about this and try to practice it, although I have a couple things to preface before I start with this. So first, I am no expert at this. My advice and things from here come from what I read, what I practice, what I see, talking with other shop owners, other business owners, everything like that. Now also, I don't have kids, I have a fiance and a wedding that's being planned and everything else that we're working on, and a dog and personal life and friends and all of that going on too. I think the first thing that when Printwear asked me to make a video about this is that my initial thought was, well, just don't start a business, right? Because it's so demanding. You care so much about it. You think so much about it. During work, you have so many things that you put on your plate. Then after work, you're constantly thinking about it. You want to wake up early and keep grinding and keep pushing forward and keep moving the whole business forward and just do all of this stuff. And on top of that, you've got everybody asking you questions and things that come up and just natural aspects of running a business, right? So I haven't obviously figured it out fully, but I have these 8 tips that I think can be really helpful that I've been practicing, that I've found to help kind of rejigger things and make sure that we do have that really good work-life balance. So the first big piece, and this is no secret, but really set time boundaries. And this isn't between the work and the life. This is actually at work, setting really good time boundaries. So, just leaving at 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever time that you set, setting good time boundaries of I'm going to work on this project from this time to this time, or I have these meetings set up. Those help create that structure way better than just letting it kind of free form and go from there. For example, in every morning I go through my support queue of engineering to be able to help customers get unstuck. I do that for the 30 minutes in the morning. I have it blocked off. When that meeting reminder comes up, no matter what I'm doing, I drop it and I completely knock that one off. I think if you completely structure your day a lot more like that, it becomes a lot more executed than writing down your to-do list and then the end of the day happens and the to-do list is still there. Now, with that, there is the aspect of delegating better. As business owners, we all started ourselves, grinding it, doing it ourselves, just keep pumping, keep printing, keep coding, whatever it was. But that has to change, especially as you bring people on, right? We have to get way better at delegating, moving off tasks, instead of saying, I'll just do it, right? I'll just get it done. I could just do it. Don't worry about it. The reason is those 5 minutes of just doing something is multiplied 100 times over and over again. And literally that's why a lot of these times it adds up to not getting the task list that you want to get done at the beginning of the day, in combination with people then asking questions and getting pulled away. Now, a lot of those types of things on the flip side is I think of the training aspect. So this is kind of, I consider as part of delegation just because you shouldn't be having to do it. For these types of issues that come up, highly recommend to spend extra time with training, with the new hires, with current team members, and anything that comes up, making sure to create a process around it to train. And this could be if you ask someone to do something for you, being extra specific, going through and creating a really detailed task that you give to them that answers any questions that may come up. And what I practice is if that person did not know anything about that role or their job, would they be able to pick it up, read it, and execute it? So that's when I feel like training has been done really well. So delegating and training there. I think the next big one, and this is number 3, is distractions. We are so distracted, right, by the phones, by our laptops, by notifications, with Slack, with email, with calls, all of this stuff. And I pulled up the study at UC Irvine. They say it takes about 23 minutes and 15 seconds to get back refocused from when you've been distracted. So what you tend to do is you try to work more and you work with more speed, but you end up causing yourself more stress and more issues in the back end. So if you can help to reduce those distractions, whether that's maybe working out of the office in the morning, that could be, headphones or a door locked or more. I've seen some businesses have like an office hours. So yeah, you can come bug me, but it has to be between 1 to 5, something like that. And if those issues do come up, again, go back to the delegation and training aspect and repurpose that and work there. But putting on again, do not disturb, putting your phone literally across the room, all this kinds of stuff to be able to not get on social media, not get an email, not hop on the phone. Just focus on that work and the to-do list that you initially set off on. Okay, so here's another trick that I've actually been doing and it works really well. Give yourself less time to do the same tasks that you normally would. Really force yourself to leave and totally trick your mind in that I have to go at 4 p.m. today, which is maybe an hour or 2 hours less than you normally give yourself to leave. It's interesting to see that you may actually do the same amount of work but in less time because you're a lot more focused. You're a lot more competitive with yourself that we have to get this done. You're a lot less likely to go on Facebook or check into this or walk around and do this. It's an interesting experiment. I definitely would absolutely try it. And you could even force yourself to do it, right? Schedule an event that's big that you have to leave at 4 to be at and just watch yourself get more stuff done in less time. It's interesting. All right. The next one is this is more for at home. As a business owner, you know that your business is on your mind 24/7. And that's more so the reality of it. But that can be hard at home, especially if people are wanting your direct attention and need your focus, right? So one thing I have been working hard on, and I definitely recommend to try, is being in the moment a lot more when you're away from work. So right in that time, be right in that moment of what exactly is happening. Now, this is kind of high level, so here's a couple ways to exactly do that. Number one, have really good eye contact. Don't be looking away. Have extremely good eye contact as if you're interviewing somebody, for example. The second, ask good questions. So something comes up, ask a good question right off of that to come back. A little trick that you can even do, especially with your significant other, is almost pretend like it's your way back and it's a first date or second date. Those kind of good on it type of good questions, just keep prompting, asking those, oh, how'd that go? Or what'd you think? Or how'd that make you feel? All those types of questions that are more open-ended, that keeps that conversation going and pulls you right in the moment. And then the last one, just toss your phone somewhere else. I tend to, after 8 or 9 or so, I'll leave my phone in the kitchen or on the nightstand or somewhere else. Everything during that period, even if you have to get work done late, don't let it distract you. Just focus on that moment and being there either with family or if you do have to get some extra things done or kids or pets, things like that. All right. So with all this said, the next one, number 6 here, is vacation time. If you're delegating really well, if you're training really well, you absolutely should be able to take vacation, and you really should, as much as you possibly can, to be able to get out, spend time with everybody, just be a lot more in the moment. And this doesn't have to be a week-long crazy destination. It could be a hiking trip. Leave, Friday morning, Thursday night, and go, a state over and stay there for a couple days and just have a nice time there. This will also help to prove out if you're doing a very good job on the delegating and training side, because things should continue to run. That's just like the profit first method that we have. Well, this is the kind of profit first method in a way for your time. Right? So the profit first is talking about delegating money into different buckets and different accounts and making sure that you get paid as an owner. This one for time, I feel like, is the exact same thing. So put the time into different buckets and make sure it stays there and doesn't bleed into yours and completely suck away your time. All right, 7th, second to last here, is routines. Routines really, really help. Set that routine that's daily, that you get into, that flow, and especially at home, that flow too. That really helps. Do you guys have dinner together? Do you watch TV shows together? Make sure you stick to that regular time. I think it's totally okay to be like, hey, I gotta go family dinner or family show that we always watch. Make sure you're there and set it and just be very routine. Again, these things can be broken and things happen, but really, really work to create that regular routine. All right, last but not least, this is a great tip actually that Ryan over at Ryanette gave, and I thought about this quite a while, and I think this is very good. He was talking about treating your personal life as if you do your business, right? Your business, you're on it. Customer calls, customer issue, you're on it, you're trying to fix it. One-on-ones, you're working to have those with your team, you're trying to improve, you're always trying to grow, you're always trying to get to the next level. Well, we don't always do that in our personal relationship life, right? Like, we don't go and say, how do we get to the next level with my spouse? Or how do I communicate better? Or how do we, execute better? Or what is our to-do list? Or these one-on-ones. And that may seem a little silly, but if you tend to think about how on it with your business, if you could think about it and try to move some of that raw motivation and push there into the personal side, I think it could drive a lot more awareness about what you may or may not be doing. So that's something that I've also been working on. As a whole, hopefully those 8 tips are definitely helpful. I would love to hear what you guys think too. I mean, this is not an easy topic. It's a little bit more uncomfortable to go into, but drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts.